business tips. We all know that almost all economies in the world are now open. Therefore, the Vietnamese businessmen's dreams of entering the largest markets in the world, like Europe and the US, are no longer imaginary. It's a real challenge, but it's quite possible if careful consideration is taken. So let's discuss today, what should Vietnamese businessmen consider when they want to do business in Europe and the US? Answering this question will take time because of course there are lots of things that Vietnamese businessmen have to consider before making decisions to enter European and American markets. However, in general, we can divide all the things into two main groups. The first group is objective consideration, and the second group is subjective ones. What are objective consideration? It includes the culture and the law. Actually, law is a cultural phenomenon. Law is something very complicated and diverse from country to country. So you have to study law carefully to make the first thing sure that the business you intend to do is legal, is not against the law. On doing business abroad, the international business law is essential. Also, the general law of the country you enter. Commercial law, especially law on taxes, all kinds of tax. For example, sales tax, value-added tax, income tax, etc. So as to avoid lack of knowledge of law, you better find a good business consultant or a good tax advisor in a law firm to help you with that. Or in an easier way, you can ask other Vietnamese businessmen who have been doing business successfully in a foreign country for advice. Then about the culture. It is one of the most important things to consider as it affects your business directly. Knowing deeply European and American cultures, you will find what their taste is, which product or service is suitable for them, and how to serve them or how to make them satisfied. It is said that Europe and the US are very, very picky markets because most of them are developed countries, so their requirements for goods and services provided are quite high. Actually, Vietnamese businessmen have been very successful in food and restaurant services because Vietnamese dishes for years have been regarded very delicious, and Vietnamese people have been praised for their hard work and excellent skills at cooking. I can name there some famous Vietnamese restaurants all over the world. For example, Phở Cali in America, or Saigon Spring Roll in Holland, etc. Besides, Hanoi Bar is also very famous and very popular in Stockholm. In Hungary, we can be proud of the Thăng Long Plaza, owned by Vietnamese people, which attracts not only Vietnamese customers but also a lot of Hungarian people and tourists by their high quality goods and services. And Thăng Long Plaza is so funny, but it's often called Đông Xuân Market in Hungary. One more interesting thing to say, in America, Vietnamese people are very well known for their nail shop, nail shops. Maybe because Vietnamese people are clever with their hands, very skillful and meticulous. So their drawing on the nails are loved by lots of Americans. Above all, culture differs from country to country. So whenever you are, you have to get to know the people in that place, discovering their habits, hobbies, conventions to act accordingly. in doing business. Sometimes small things can cause confusion. For instance, the way you dress. So when you do business in Europe, or you are going to a meeting in Europe, remember to wear a dark suit or elegant dress is your great choice. In addition, we can talk about the way you express your disagreement, where you should raise your voice up, where you should not. And if you want to do business with a European partner to cooperate, for example, remember there is a very interesting sentence, saying that do not discuss business. Remember, in Europe, do not discuss business before wine and cheese. It's quite different in America because for American people, just feel free, just talk quickly, talk efficiently, eat quickly, it's okay. So now you see how the difference in culture is significant in doing business, right? To sum up this part, think global, act local. Know the sentence? Business law, business tax, culture, and business convention of the country you intend to do business should be considered carefully. Now we move to the second group, subjective consideration. Subjective consideration may be summarized in capital. But capital doesn't mean the money you have in your hand only. Now you can understand capital in a wider meaning. Your creative ideas on operating your business, your management ability, and your staff as well, all of this are your potential capital. So if you have enough money and you have good strategies in both short run and long run, you are probably successful. It also shows clearly that having a big amount of money doesn't mean that you can be successful. Nowadays, money means nothing without clever strategies. So, you know that markets are very competitive nowadays. And the winners in the market are the wise businessmen. What are wise businessmen? They are the people who continuously update themselves to catch up with everything happening in the markets. And they are wise because they know that they understand themselves and they understand the markets clearly and deeply. When you can find the cut point of what you have and what consumers in Europe and US need, you will surely gain a firm foothold even in the biggest markets in the world. Besides the capital, I want to say about the human resource, and it is one of the weak points of Vietnamese businesses. It's up to you to employ staff. But if you want to hire Vietnamese employees, remember that careful training must be the priority because Vietnamese employees are not as professional as employees in lots of other countries in the world. So you have to train to improve their quality. Now you enter a developed economy. So your staff must have good skill, good virtual, good appliance with strict discipline, and they must be greatly faithful and enthusiastic. Well, after taking careful consideration in both objective and subjective conditions, I think it's time for you to do business, to start doing business in Europe and the US. Right now, there are no more barriers. Just follow your dream and make them become true. It's a big chance for you, but of course, a lot of challenges await you ahead. However, I believe that having great confidence, passion, enthusiasm, and a wise plan, after careful hard researching will lead to success for sure. The fact proves that a lot of Vietnamese businessmen have done that well. So if you have considered carefully, just act. Remember that European and American markets always welcome you to Edward. It's time for me to say goodbye. I want to say good luck to your coming success in the future in Europe and the US. Thanks for watching and see you next time.